Hello, everybody. So, today I was feeling really invested in a conversation that I was having with my grandma, and it was about how my family from my mom's side and my dad's side, oh my god, are really blessed by some things, some qualities in life, how hard situations always turn out good, and how life is beautiful and everything turns out great and you end up being happy. It's not like the happy ending, but it's like after every situation you are all right, and there's like a shiny um, memory that comes from it, and it's an anecdote for absolutely everyone else. And we've never had bad situations happen to us, which is, I'm very grateful for that. Like, of course, there are inevitable bad situations like moving abroad, all of a sudden, or someone dying in the worst time. And I think those are very human situations. By bad, I'm like saying we have never been in a very anxious and scary situation before. And if in any chance we have happened to have that, we've had like a place to always rely on, and that is the family. And I think family love and the way that the women love in my family is very interesting, because we do not like hold on to people very easily, but when we do, we don't let go. And it's like we are almost devoted to this person as long as they are making us equally happy. And that's how relationships have been developing in my family, which is interesting because not everyone in my family has a partner or have had a partner. From my mom's side, this is from my mom's side. Um, Most women are single and they are already like elderly women. So it's like 70 years old, 60, 70, they are around that age. And I have an aunt that is 74. She's going to turn 75 in December. And it is really interesting to see how she sees life and how we are always reflecting on society, on how society grows very poor relationships. And it's almost obligated because if you are seen with someone, they should be your boyfriend, or else you are not worth it. And if they are your boyfriend, you better marry them, or you are just trash. And if that is your husband, you never should get divorced. And that is also very trashy. Like, if you do that, those type of things, you are seen as bad person. So I feel like the generation of my aunts that I tell you that are elderly, they're like half of them are retired. And it's like they chose not to go through that direction. And some of them is really I don't know. It's a really like weird because one of them, her sisters, um discovered that her boyfriend was actually cheating on her behind her back, and she didn't want to accept that. So she was planning on buying a house here because she was living in Italy, and they like were the ones that were going to buy the house. And my aunt said like, buy, not to buy the house, what, buy a house for him. She wanted to buy a house for him or give him the money to pay something. Like, he was manipulating her into giving him money. And instead of giving this person the money, as she said, my aunt decided to buy a house for her. And they bought a house under her name and her name only. I think first they made it on someone else's name, or like at her mom's name, like it would be my great grandma, great grandma, you say it like that, but yeah. And then she gave it to her, and now she has a house because of them. Because if she would have given him that money, she would have never had a house, or could possibly never be able to afford a house, because she was already like 50, I guess, when this happened. And it is really, really sad to think that this type of things have to happen to you, have to happen to you in order for you to grow, you know? But yeah, I feel like my family has that sixth sense of things, and really, really like alive. You feel alive. I don't know how you say it in English, but in Spanish it's like alive, a way of expressing how someone is really quick with making the right decision after a situation happens, you know? You feel almost entitled to protect your freedom, to protect your family, to protect the love, your time, and your effort, you know? So that's when we have the power to say no. That's when we have the power to actually make hard decisions. And many women in my family that have made hard decisions are now very happy. And that example is of my favorite aunt. I have two favorite, I think I already told you I have two favorite, whatever. One of my aunts, she she actually not escaped from her house, but basically she went out of her house to another city by herself at 16, and she started working. Of course, she already graduated from high school. She graduated earlier because her parents put her in a year earlier. So she was working. She went to another city, stayed with some friends, and I don't know how they were their friends. I'm pretty sure she made friends along the way, you know, that were also doing the same thing as her. And she studied to be an anthropologist. Of course, and there are here in my country, which is a good thing, universities were free and still are free. It's very beautiful because I was a victim of that. I graduated architecture in a govern in the university of the government, or of here, you know. It's not part of the government, but is part of it's a public institution. So we love that. She loved that. She pursued to be an anthropologist, and also at the same time to be, how do you say this? Medicina ancestral, ancestral medicine? Probably, probably. Not to be in, well, ancestral medicine. Yeah, it sounds like that. Beautiful career, by the way. Very, very needed right now, because now that we know that we are being victims of the government with our medication, with everything, you need to know how to take care of yourself without depending on like an institution, you know, because you have nature right by your side, and that could take care of your problems. Well, not take care of your problems, but avoid some problems. You can fix your health, and that is a way of preventing more problems, something that the institution or institutions do not teach you. So well, there are a few that teach you, by the way, like the one that my aunt was following. Interesting. Anyway, I feel blessed. I wanted to share that. At the beginning of making this video, I was thinking to myself, what was I going to talk about? Because believe it or not, I always have this horrible feeling that when I turn on the camera, I start talking to the camera instead of talking to myself, as I always do. So now that I'm talking to myself, you can probably have a better like understanding of what I'm thinking because I'm flowing. I'm in that flow state because I'm thinking to myself. But sometimes, and well, this is most of the time, 90% of the time, I turn on the camera and instead of talking to myself as I should, I start talking to the camera and I'm like, I am, and I don't know what to say. So it feels like I have to really, really practice this part of me where I can express totally myself in front of a camera without trying to talk to a camera, because that's awkward. So I need to talk to myself. I think that is a better understanding of me trying to put into words of what I'm thinking, especially avoid the overly translation of words, even though that happened, but it's because I'm speaking in English. So if am I saying the like things for people to understand? Yes. Sometimes I do have problems with trying to express how I feel in another language, but that's okay. That's part of learning. Right now I'm going to learn another language, and that is scary, terrifying, but I think I also forgot to tell you that I'm really, really proud of my cousin. She was really tired of her mother, like not in a bad way. It's just like she was already getting tired of not being by herself, and she's a year older than me, so she's 26. No, she's 25. Is she? She's 6 months older than me. Yeah, she's 25. And she moved into a new apartment by herself, and I'm so proud of her. She's just everything. And I was with my grandma today. She was really proud of us. So I think that the lesson from this story is know that you have angels by your side all the time, taking care of you, as long as you take care of your people. Those angels are like actually these people. The more you take care of others, the more they will take care of you. And that is just facts. Like the energy, because taking care is an energy. It's not giving it like a thing. It's not giving a gift. It's giving energy. And energy being put out there with good intentions is always going to come back to you. Um, Probably not from this specific person that you're actually giving the energy to, but it could be another person or another thing, another situation, another opportunity. So give more to get more, period. That's all. Subscribe. I love you. Thank you so much for 900 and something subscribers. We're so close to 1,000. But I can totally tell that my retention is not good at all. And it's probably because of the way that I talk or the way that I try to express myself. So I will try to practice to talk in front of a camera. I think it is actually something that you have to work on in order to get better. And yeah, love you.